All right, everyone, so what we've got here are the two editions of the Muzzsimp pedal, which is a dual pedal. It's a vintage muff style distortion with an additional boost that has some really unique features. When you start blending them together, you get some really cool sounds. So first off, here's the clean tone. Just a simple budget Strat, single coil pickups, nothing that crazy. Kind of thin and plinky. So let's go over the controls. So you've got volume, sweep, which is tone and gain, and then this toggle here bypasses the tone knob and makes it so it has kind of a bigger, fuller sound. And then obviously this foot switch and this knob are the boost section. So here's just everything at 5 on the green, which has the classic Muzzsimp circuit in it. You can order this pedal with either circuit. So here's just the bass sound with the sweep engaged. So it's kind of thin, simple. Just a basic vintage style distortion, but watch what happens when I kick on the boost. Not only is it getting louder, it's also getting richer because you're cascading that drive sound into a little bit of a preamp sound. So it's getting kind of a warmer sound. It's warming over some of those harmonics. And then watch as I bypass the tone and kick it into the other mode. And you can increase the gain. You can also warm that up, putting it back, engaging the sweep control. The boost section on its own also sounds really good into a tube amp. Just adds a bigger, fuller sound. That's part of why the two in tandem work so well together. Now obviously the controls are the exact same on the red circuit edition, which I know this might sound confusing, but you can order the circuit of the red Muzzsimp in the green enclosure. Because I figured the green enclosure was so popular, we are offering the classic or the hot rodded version. So this version has different clipping diodes and a few mods, has a little bit more mid-range, it's a little louder and a little gnarlier. So you can hear that here. Notice this kind of similar settings over here sound completely different on the classic circuit. Especially with the sweep bypassed in this one, it's just a huge fuller sound. Notice immediately kicking in that boost stage, you have so much more of a cool, fuller sound, even though the volume jump isn't that. can also go really wild with it and crank everything. Notice you can also go below unity, kind of using the boost side as a preamp like I mentioned before, but still getting that same rich sound. And while not every distortion sound that you're hearing right now sounds that great on its own, in a mix it actually does really well because those frequencies are able to cut through in a really pleasing way without being too screechy or harsh. I've found it's really tricky with classic muff circuits to get that balance of clarity and warmth, and especially not being too noisy. And on all fronts, both versions of the circuit do quite well in this regard. But yeah, you can get some killer lead tones stacking the two. So yeah, it's kind of the overview of the Muzzsimp, why I did the things that I did, especially with that second stage. It really puts it in a sweet spot. On its own, I struggled with this circuit, even though it's based on one of my favorite pedals. I wasn't quite getting the sound I wanted until I added that second stage. So that's kind of the magic. So you're really getting two pedals in one. That explains the price point. And these are all going to be built to order. So if you put in an order today, it puts you first in line to get one as soon as possible. Still working through a little bit of a backlog from last month, but they should be shipping out within 4 to 5 weeks or so, with more updates to follow. But these are a really killer value. They're huge pedals and they have a huge range of sounds. So I hope you enjoy and appreciate the new Muzzsimp offering and consider picking one up. Thanks, guys.